Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to That's Football. An early one this morning because this transfer window has just fired up. I mean, nothing surprises me in football, and when I saw late last night that Chelsea had bid officially for Lavia of Southampton, the mind starts popping. Liverpool in crisis. Chelsea, are they just taking players that other clubs want again? What's happening with Caicedo? What an interesting deal. And also, remember, Chelsea entertained Liverpool on the opening weekend on Sunday. Is it 1-0 to Chelsea already? Is this a psychological blow? And interestingly, I want to bring in Liverpool fans as well and your thoughts on Liverpool, even if you're not a Liverpool fan. Are Liverpool in a bit of crisis? I mean, they're the sort of club and they're the sort of fan base that, pride themselves on not overreacting, on, keeping their issues close to their chest and protecting Liverpool. And I haven't really noticed it, but just delving into a few local Liverpool sort of outlets, and they're not happy about the lack of transfer activity. And we've spoken on here quite consistently about the midfield hole they've got. Henderson gone, Fabinho, I don't know what's going on there. And they're going into a massive game and a massive season. They don't really have any defensive midfielders. And that's just, they could potentially be weaker than last season, let's be honest. So Liverpool, the big unknown. We'll talk about that. They've been dancing around Lavia all summer. And the expectation is that they would grind a deal down at the expense of having him in for the opening few games. End of August, Southampton cave in and the deal gets done. That doesn't look like it's going to be the case. And also, remember, Southampton have just pocketed 30 million for Ward-Prowse. So, Liverpool waiting long game. Chelsea swoop in 45, 48 million pounds. Some are saying it's been rejected by Southampton because they want 50. Gotta say, I mean, he's not worth 50 million quid. I don't understand this transfer market this summer. I mean, Declan Rice, 100 million was overpriced, but that can happen. Caicedo, 100 million is what Brighton want. Southampton want 50 for Lavia. Manchester United want 45 for Scott McTominay. It's just crazy midfield prices. So you can understand the buying clubs, but the selling clubs are having a laugh. And they're getting away with it at the moment. Look, I suppose let's start with Chelsea and we can circle back into Liverpool. Chelsea's transfer strategy is chaotic and remains chaotic. I don't know who's in control of this. Lavia is a good player. I think he'd be a good signing. I'd take him at United, and he has always been a tentative link for Chelsea. But apparently they're still going to go for Caicedo as well. And this is something that Chelsea get accused of. They did it with Mudryk in January. They've done it so many times where it looks like another player's going to another club, and Chelsea swoop in and go, "We'll have him," and that's fine. But as we saw in January with Chelsea, buying players that other clubs want, maybe those other clubs want them because they've got a spot in their team. But like Manchester United buying a really good centre defensive midfielder to start. We've got Casemiro. Chelsea need to buy what they need. Do they need Lavia and Caicedo when they've already got really good options in their midfield anyway? They need one. I don't think they need to spend 150 million pounds. I mean, and the question is how they spend that, of course, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. So the feeling is that Chelsea will go for Lavia and Caicedo, and they've had an official bid go in. So some people last night were saying this is just Southampton trying to get Liverpool to do a bid, and it's Chelsea trying to get Brighton to panic. It could be that. It could be that. You don't normally get official bids from football clubs between Chelsea and Southampton to scare Liverpool and Brighton so that they can get Caicedo and Liverpool get Lavia. I don't think that's the case. I think this is Chelsea being Chelsea under Todd Boehly and going for a player that he needs a player. I mean, it's almost like he's going to spend £50 million on Lavia to play the first 3 games of the season and then get Caicedo at the end. I mean, I don't know the logic. And Chelsea are an interesting club to watch because I said this last year, Todd Boehly's got his heart in the right place, but he's erratic in the transfer window, and that needs to stop. And if Pochettino can't stop that, he'll never be successful. Look, it's really exciting for Chelsea because obviously any fan of any club never thinks we're buying too many players. You just think, oh yeah, I'll have that. We'll deal with the problems later. So Lavia and Caicedo for Chelsea would be very exciting for them. I thought last night this meant Chelsea were pulling out the Caicedo deal and they were going for Lavia. And then you got Liverpool fans saying, well, we should go for Caicedo now. Yeah, there's no way Liverpool are going to pay £100 million for Caicedo. I think there's only Chelsea who are going to do that. So that would mean Caicedo staying at Brighton. But as I say, Chelsea is still looking to buy both. It's going to be massively intriguing to see how this develops now, because Liverpool do not want to be in a bidding war with anybody for Lavia when they don't want to pay more than 45 million anyway. So, and this close to the end of the season, what do Liverpool do? I mean, there are other options out there. I think there's some good options out there. I think Gravenberch at Bayern Munich, I'm amazed no one's pushing for him. I think there's a good player there. Man United looking at Amrabat, there's another option as well. So there are options out there. And it could end up being a Premier League, and we don't get it very often, but it could end up being a Premier League battle in relation to direct competition for certain players. So, yeah, we'll have to see how this develops. It's massively, massively intriguing. What do you think, Chelsea fans? What does everybody else think? I think Lavia is a really good player. He's not the finished article, but I think he's a good player. On to Liverpool, though. Look, what is Liverpool's season? I think it's hard to predict Chelsea's season. It's really hard to predict Liverpool's season. And it's not like you haven't had a warning. And I felt like Jurgen Klopp was setting this club up to rebuild and start challenging again. And I don't think it's very hard to predict Liverpool are going to have a good season when their midfield is like it is. Games are won and lost in the midfield. Yes, Liverpool have got an abundance of attacking talent. Yes, Liverpool have got experienced defenders and a world-class goalkeeper. But that midfield, which wouldn't have been good enough with Henderson and Fabinho anyway, because I feel that they were past it, but not replacing them, you'd have been better off keeping them. So what is the Liverpool plan? There's a lot of Liverpool people saying, you know, it's almost like FSG. Again, I don't really know whether they're FSG or FSG out. I know Liverpool were looking to sell and then they weren't going to sell. And I can say Liverpool should have sold. If you're a Liverpool fan, to compete in the modern game, you need to spend money. Our manager, Ten Hag at Man United, has said this publicly. I think Klopp has hinted at it. Whether you like the idea of rich owners or not, if you want to compete, you need to spend money, and Liverpool haven't done enough of that this summer in the areas that they need to do it. I think it's amazing that they're going into this season without good quality defensive midfielders. Now, they might have a plan. They might have somebody within the system that they think is going to work really well there. Maybe they're going to throw Trent Alexander-Arnold in there, but who would play right back? I don't think that is going to happen. So Liverpool, to me, look like they have got a hole in their team. They know they've got a hole in their team, and it impacts their confidence going into the season, which away at Stamford Bridge, you know, you could easily, I mean, I'm going to go for a Liverpool win there, but logically Chelsea could win that 3-4-0, and then Liverpool are in a right state. They feel like they're on the edge of the cliff at the moment, Liverpool, and you just don't know which way they're going to go. And I think that, you know, you can sort of see why the frustration's there. It's such an important position. I mean, every position in a Premier League starting 11 that's trying to do well is important, but the holding midfielder, the defensive midfielder, the protector of the back four, the conductor for the people in front, the ball goes through them. Liverpool haven't got anybody, and even if they did get Lavia, I mean, he's only about 19 anyway, so that, to me, is an area that Liverpool have left completely, and I don't think for 1 minute Jurgen Klopp has left that. I don't think Jurgen Klopp has left that. I think Liverpool have left that for whatever reason. And you're always going to struggle to compete when you're leaving holes like that. Massive story. Let's see how it goes. It could still end up with Chelsea getting Caicedo from Brighton and Liverpool getting Lavia from Southampton, because maybe, I would assume, Lavia would want to go to Liverpool because that's where he's wanted to go all summer. But it certainly hots things up. Get in the comments, where do you think it's going to go? What are your thoughts on Liverpool? What are your thoughts on this Chelsea move? Massive story. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel, bottom right hand corner, because we've got a fantastic Premier League predictor game coming up later on this afternoon. Me and Ben Foster, get ready for that. You will enjoy it and you can play it with us. Really excited about that. Tomorrow we're back with a watch along. Man City Burnley tomorrow night. Bring it on. Premier League, it all starts. So make sure you subscribe and smash a like on the video. And finally from me, thanks to everybody who's been listening to Goldbridge Saves Football, our new podcast. It's available on Spotify and Apple and everything else. Links in the description. We went in at number 2 yesterday. Let's see where we are today. It's just amazing. An independently produced podcast that we put together on, a couple of weeks on our own to go in against some of the big hitters that are heavily produced, like Lineker and Simon Jordan and, all the others. It's incredible, and it's down to this community. So thank you for everyone if you've listened to that. If you haven't, give it a check out. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Get your comments in below. Massive news.